Hello everybody and welcome to another Cookalong. It has been 3 weeks just because of Australia Day last week, so we are a week behind, but or a week later than normal. But we are back to do a recipe for you, and you've got me again. I'm sorry, Sarah will be back next month. Sarah is there making comments for us tonight, so if you've got questions, please feel free to ask away. And we're going to do a little Mexican tonight. So something that you can use and eat any way you like. So you can do your tacos, you can do nachos, you can do wraps. You can do it really any way you like. So you can do it wrapped in lettuce leaves. It's really up to you. So we've got that tonight. So we'll just let it let another couple of minutes just to let everybody on. Let us know where you're watching from. Hello to all of our fabulous regulars that come and watch us every time we're on here. And welcome to anyone that's new that's come along to watch us tonight. We've got lots of things always going on with Magimix. So we've got a Lunar New Year promotion going on at the moment out there, which I told you all about last time. So lots going on. The recipe tonight is going to be nice, easy, quick, because I know how much you love nice, easy, quick. So quick that the cook time for the meat's about 12 minutes. And we're going to do a little salsa as well. So we're going to use just the one machine, so the Cook Expert. And I'm going to start with the food processor. So if you can grab your food processor, make sure you've got that out ready to go. And I've got the large blade in my Food Pro ready to go. And we're going to do our salsa. So I'll give everyone another little bit and then we'll get going. Hope everyone's had a lovely week and a lovely Australia Day long weekend if you managed to have some time off. Beautiful weather in Sydney. So for those in Sydney, I'm sure you can agree it's been amazing. And for those that aren't, hopefully it's as nice as it is here. So, okay, so I think we're a couple of minutes in. We should get going. Like I said, it's a nice, quick, easy midweek meal or a nice, quick Friday night because you've had a long week and you want something nice and simple. So we'll get going. So we're going to, so I've got to keep not standing in front of that or you won't be able to see me. Okay, so we're going to get started by using the food processor. Now, before we keep going, I need to say, in the recipe it said 500 grams of beef. That's totally my fault. It is meant to say beef, but it's meant to have the word mince after it. So if you've got beef and you haven't got mince, then that's not a problem. We can actually turn your beef into mince. And it wasn't till this afternoon that I noticed that, and I'd already bought mince. Otherwise, I would have bought beef to show you. But you can actually still do your beef in the food processor. Okay, so don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. What I would suggest doing is probably do your salsa first and then just give it a really quick wipe out. Don't worry about washing it, and then do your mince because it's all going to cook in with the same flavors anyway. Okay, we don't want to do it the other way around because we don't want raw meat in with our nice fresh salsa. So if you do need to do that with the beef, I really do apologize, but it can be easily fixed. That's what we love about our food processor, and we can pop that mince in after. So we're going to get started, and we're going to start. I've got my coriander. Now, I love coriander. I love the mint. You need to kind of adjust this to your own taste, I think. So if you're not, you can handle a little bit of coriander or a little bit of mint. Obviously, you can change what you're putting in there. I've got a red chilli in there. If you want it hotter, put a hotter chilli in there. Now, the red onion. I'm not a huge raw red onion person, so I've actually decided in this batch, I'm just going to do a quarter. Now, I did a half and the recipe says half. Absolutely go with that if you love your raw red capsicum, red onion. But like I said, I'm not a huge fan, so I put a little bit less. So you can completely change this recipe to what's going to suit you. So that's the coriander and the mint, the red onion and the chili. Okay, so Sarah's there if you've got questions. She's got a copy of the recipe. And then on the side, we've got our cucumber that we've deseeded, our tomatoes that we've deseeded, and we've also got some chunks of capsicum as well. Now, again, you can change this. You can do whatever you like with this. You can put, it's really up to you, but this was just one that I put together that I thought would be a nice, refreshing salsa that you can do with, I just actually need to check if my machine's on. Yep, it is. Okay, beautiful. So a nice, easy one that we can do that you can eat with anything. You could actually eat this with fish, or you could eat this with chicken. You could eat this with a really nice piece of tuna or something like that, or even a bowl of tuna, like a tin of tuna mixed with this mixed through, I think would be amazing. So we're going to start just by pulsing the mixture. Now I do want that fairly fine. So if you want to actually, can you see how fine that is? Or do you want to come in and have a quick look? But I do want, oh my gosh, it smells amazing. I've got a complete waft of that though. So you can see in there, that's about what we want. So we've got everything in there chopped up. And then I'm going to add my tomato, my cucumber. Oh my gosh, I bought mild chilies and they're quite strong and they're actually in the back of my throat. I can feel them. Okay. So tomatoes, cucumbers and capsicum we've now added. And I'm just going to give that a little pulse. Now, if you want a chunky salsa, don't pulse it as long. If you want a little bit finer salsa, obviously you can pulse it as long as you like. Okay, I think that's about what I want. So I'm going to tip this into a bowl so you can see exactly the consistency that I've got here. Okay. So now I'm going to get to the next stage and we're going to add some lime juice and some salt and pepper to this, but just want to quickly show you the consistency that I've got there, and then I'll continue on with that once we've got our beef on. But can you see that? So you've got your beautiful salsa. You can use, like I said, you can use that on anything, but tonight we're going to use it on the top of our nachos. Okay, so I'll set that aside and I'll finish that off in just a minute. So you can do the same. Just pop it aside. If you now need to beef your mince, empty the bowl, give it a quick wipe out. Like I said, don't worry about washing it. Pop your beef in there, turn it on to auto and make sure that that really minces up. And it should only take probably 20 to 30 seconds to do that for you. So a nice, easy way to do that. And what I love about that is even if you are at home and you feel like something like nachos and you don't have mince, but you've got beef, that you can really simply turn that in to a mince yourself. That chili really is in the back of my throat. Okay, so like I said with the salsa, we'll get back to that in a minute. But of course, we want to get this on because we want it to be a nice, quick, easy meal. Onion, garlic, that's what went into there. And I'm just going to do the magic pulse button. We love the pulse button. So that should have gone to expert. Let me just guess. Okay, and we'll give that a pulse. Okay, now I'll try not to cry with the onion all over today. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a quick scrape down. If you need to repeat, by all means repeat. Scrape off the top if you need to. Might give it one little repeat, but I'm actually pretty happy with that. Okay. Okay, so we're ready to go. Okay, now the first thing, of course, we like to do is we like to fry off that onion, which I'm going to just add some olive oil to. I'll just pop that in there. It's a bit of an eye stinger. Okay, I'm going to remove my cap and I'm going to cook that, I think I said, for a couple of minutes. Now, what I'm actually going to do with this one is I'm going to use stir fry. I can't remember which one's out. Oh, my eyes. Okay, so we're going to go to cooking. And then I'm going to go to stir fry. Mind my eyes that are completely balling out now. Okay, so we're going to stir fry now. I think that says 7 minutes automatic speed. I'm not crying, I promise. Automatic speed and 7 minutes. But I only want to do this for a couple of minutes. So I'm going to go across. Oh, no, I've just done that. Okay, so I'm going to go across to my time and I'm just going to drop that to just a couple of minutes. Why my eyes water? Oh, we've got 2 minutes. Okay, beautiful. I was trying to not have to walk around the side, but you know how it is. Okay, my eyes are slowly settling down. I should have put the onion in the fridge. I find that that's what really actually helps. Excuse me one moment. I do find the onion in the fridge actually does help with that, but anyway, who keeps their onions in the fridge? Some of you may. The smart people probably. Okay, so we're going to let that fry off just for a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to use the stir fry function through this whole thing. Okay, the reason I'm going to do that is because I want this cooked nice and quickly. I want my beans that I'm going to pop in here to be nice and whole. So at the moment I've got my onion and my garlic in there and we're frying that off stir fry, 160 degrees for 2 minutes. Okay, then soon as that's done, we're going to add our mince, and we're going to do our mince for about 5 minutes, and that's going to give a chance for that mince to brown in there. And I love the stir fry function. This is one of my new favourite functions in the machine because it makes things so quick. Obviously not everything can be done on stir fry. I love how steamy that is already. Once we've done our mince, we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. So make sure you've got ready your diced chilli, and again, if you want a hot meat, then you can add hot chilli. If you don't want it really spicy at all, don't put in the chilli. We're going to add some crushed tomatoes, some red kidney beans, and we're going to also add some taco mix. So just, you can either buy it in a packet or a Mexican mix that you know might have put together yourself. About 30 to 40 grams of that is what you're going to need. Okay, so we're on the countdown. 2 minutes. Like I said, this is a really quick one. Once we've got the mince on, I'm going to finish off that salsa. So we've got that ready to go as well. Whew. Glad my eyes stopped. Okay. Must be very close now. Okay. On the countdown. And we're going to get ready to add our mince. Okay. Must be like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 almost. Beep. Okay. Beautiful. Oh, I love that that's steamy and that is started to fry off. It's fabulous. Okay. I also like the stir fry function because of the way that it stirs as well. That's different to really anything because it knows that you're using that you're stir frying. So I'm going to pop that in, bless the paper. Okay. So I'll just pop that in. I don't really need to do anything, just pop it in. Pop that there, and we're going to now up this to 5 minutes. Okay, which is my up button. Okay, so we'll go to 5 minutes. Okay, so we're on 5 and we'll let that go. I'm going to put the cap back on for this one because we're going to get that all sort of really cooking in there beautifully. And then we're going to get back onto our, I'll just move that slightly, back onto our salsa. Okay, so just pop your salsa into a bowl. And like I said, if you want it to be less chunky, by absolutely all means make it less chunky. That's completely up to you. If you want less coriander, less mint, really, it's, you know, if you don't have red capsicum, just leave it out. It doesn't really matter. It's just something that you can just throw together really simply and really easily that you can have with so many different things. So we'll pop that beautifully in there. We'll pop that out of the way. And we are going to just do something very simple, and we're going to season it with some salt and pepper. Love fresh. This, you couldn't get much fresher than this. It is absolutely amazing. Everything's super fresh. You buy those salsas, you know, runny tomato salsa type things in the supermarket, and they're, you know, leftovers, I think. Okay, so I think I said a good tablespoon of lime juice. So I'm just going to give that a good squeeze. Now, what I find also with lime juice is it helps to take that kind of bite a little bit out of the red onion. So if you really wanted to, you could always soak your red onion in the lime juice prior. But, you know, I'm not that offended by it. Okay. So that's probably close to a tablespoon, let's say. And then we're just going to give that a good mix through. But could you imagine how yummy this would be on just a nice chicken breast fillet, or a nice piece of fish, or, you know, mixed through with a can of tuna or something like that. Even served on, you know, like rice crackers or something like that, Vita Wheats or whatever they call them. Okay, so I've got that stirred in. Now, if you're cooking along at home with me, please smell that and tell me that doesn't smell the most amazing fresh salsa that you're probably ever going to eat. So, cucumber, tomato, red capsicum was the larger things that we put in there, so we didn't blend that quite as much. What we did blend was the coriander, the mint, and the red onion, a little bit more than everything else, and the chilli, I think, too. Just a little bit more than everything else because we wanted that quite fine. So we've got now our salsa ready to go. So tell me what you're all going to do tonight, because I think we did say that you could do nachos, you could do tacos, you could do wraps. So let me know what you're actually going to do with yours tonight, or when you get round to making it, what you think you might use it for. But like I said, tonight we're going to be using it for our nachos. So this is what I love about the glass lid. There's just a little bit that was caught there, and I'm just going to pop back down and get started again. Okay, that's what I love, that you can see in there. So it was just, I could just see a tiny little bit just caught there. I'm making a mess, aren't I? Like usual. That's what I do. Okay, pop that back there, and we will get ready to go to the next stage. Okay, so we've gotten it ready for next. We've got together our crushed tomatoes. Now, if you had a lot of tomatoes that you wanted to actually use, you could actually chop up. Well, it's 400 grams, so you could actually just dice your tomatoes or pop your tomatoes into your Food Pro and mash them up yourself. So do 400 grams of fresh tomatoes. That's completely up to you if you've got tomatoes to be used. Sometimes the cheaper way to do it is to do the can, but sometimes you go to this fruit shop and they're selling, bags of tomatoes with 2 kilos of tomatoes in them for $2 or $3. Great way to do it. And then you can freeze them as well. So freeze them in, Ziploc bags in batches of 400 grams is a really great way of actually saving some money and having really fresh ingredients in things that you do. Also really yummy in like spaghetti bolognese with a fresh sauce. I always throw cherry tomatoes, if I've got them in the fridge, into my bolognese sauce because I love that little burst in there. So that's another little one that I like to do in there as well. So we must be again close to our 5 minutes. And then we'll get on to adding the last of our ingredients, and that's what I'm saying, it's a nice and quick. So total 12-minute cook in the Cook Expert. And then, of course, on top of that, doing our salsa. So the breeze keeps blowing my paper across the table. It's like magic. So we're nearly there for that one. And then we'll get that on for the last 5 minutes and get ready to plate up our nachos. So like I said, it's a really quick, easy midweek meal. Nice and fresh, nice and healthy. If you're doing things like your own salsa, then that gives it that extra fresh taste as well. So we're going to just take that lid off. Now, I'll pop in my tomatoes. Beautiful. I've got my chilli. Again, put it in, leave it out, make it hotter, completely up to you. All those little chilies in there. We're going to pop in some taco seasoning or a Mexican spice seasoning, whatever you've got. And then we're going to pop in our red kidney beans that have been strained. So make sure you get that liquid off them. And we've just got them in like that. And then we're going to go back up for another 5. I wish I could work out how to see this in the reflection of my phone. Oh, I can. Is that 5? Is that 5 minutes? No? Right. I need like a little mirror there to reflect so that I can see what's going on. Okay, so we're going to let that go. Again, I've put that again, just let me double check that I did, yes, do it on stir fry for another 5 minutes, leaving it at 160 degrees. But this time I'm going to take the cap off. Now the reason I'm going to take the cap off now is because I don't want to continue with a whole lot of condensation in there. So what I found with this recipe is at first there might have been a little bit of liquid, but it went beautifully over the nachos. But the next day it was even better. It just all kept soaking into the mince. It was amazing. So it was one of those that I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, do it the night before, ready for the next day even. Okay, so we are just going to give this a quick pack up. We love something nice and quick and easy. I've got my corn chips, so we're going to go with the nachos. Got my mashed avocado. Now, if you wanted to, you could do your avocado through your mini bowl. Okay, so if you're doing it for a large amount of people, you're doing 2 or 3 avocados, pop them in, peel them, obviously deseed them, pop them into your mini bowl in your food processor and do your avocados that way. So it's a nice way to do them nice and smooth and creamy. You can also do, if you want to double your salsa, if you're doing it for a large group of people. This one here, 500 grams of mince, you're doing it to sort of 4 to 6 people, depending obviously on whether you've got really hungry people in your house or not so hungry little people in your house. So obviously that's going to vary as well. So I've got my sour cream I've got my avocado, I've got my corn chips. I'm going to need a scoop, aren't I? I've got my scoop. Okay. And I've got my salsa, of course, because that's the most important part. So now I've got to decide what order we put all this in. Do we go meat, salsa, avo, sour cream? Is that the way? I think that's the way I think I would do it. Okay. We'll just get that cleaned up. So let me know, we did talk the other week about, things that you've got that you want us to help you convert so that you can do them in, your Cook Expert, because obviously something like this in the past I may have done in a fry pan, but this is a really easy way to get something done that's all in one pot. What I love about this one as well is that I don't have to wipe the splashbacks down at the end of it, so it's all in there bubbling away beautifully and it's contained, so we like that. And then of course we've got our rinse function at the end, which makes it super easy to be able to then rinse. So we'll let that just keep going for another couple of minutes. And it smells absolutely amazing. It is going to be delicious. We're going to love this one. And I hope that it's one that you actually do start to do, something more often, whether it's weekend, midweek. Beautiful salsa that you've got there as well. So we're nearly done. I know. We're going to be like eating dinner by 6:30. Does that ever happen in your house? It doesn't ever happen in my house because I'm always the one that has to do it. Yes, I know. You'd think that, anyway. One day, who comes home to a cooked meal on the table ready for them to eat? That's what I want to know. And where do you live? I'm coming over. Okay, let me just grab a spoon for the avo, my sour cream. The other thing you can do with this one is if you're going to do something like if I was going to do wraps, I'd actually grill some corn on the cob and slice the corn on the cob off. I always love corn on the cob on these sorts of things. You could add some grated cheese. You could add, that's what I haven't got actually, grated cheese. Duh. Anyway, normally I would put cheese on this, so we'll do that after. You could add, your grated cheese, your grated carrots, your grated all those things as well. So kind of think there's so many things you could have prepped in your food pro. So we could have been doing our avocado mix in the mini bowl. We could have grated our carrot and then our cheese into the midi bowl. We could have then done our beautiful salsa in the large bowl. So it's really just giving you, one meal, how many things you can do in actually, with the food pro, all in one. So it's a really good one, actually, now, the more I think about that, for being able to do this. So if you were just doing something simple like your nachos and you just want to do your meat and your avo and your sour cream and your cheese, and of course your salsa, then this is a really good one to do as well. And we're nearly there. I can smell it. It smells amazing. We must be close. Are we counting down? Are we in the 10s of seconds or the 50s of seconds or something like that? And we are just about ready. So this is boiling beautifully. The 1A, or the stir fry mode, which is pretty much stirs at 1A, is giving it that slight turn. So you're going to see when I take the lid off that those beautiful red kidney beans are still red kidney beans. We haven't mushed them at all. They're still going to be nice in there and all together. So, ooh. Okay, I'll take this off. Oh, yum. Okay, so do you want to come and have a little look at what I mean by all those beautiful kidney beans are still all together? You can see them at the top there. Look at that. So they're all together. They're all beautiful. They're all ready to go. If you needed to stir that throughout the process of anything like I did earlier, if anything gets stuck, of course you can do that too. But it's all in there. And I actually do believe it's ready. I might just have to try it just to make sure I'm not going to kill anyone. Although raw meat's not as bad as raw chicken, is it? Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. Are you ready? We're going to plate this up. Like I said, it was a little bit juicy at the start, but it did start to absorb really beautifully. So I'm going to pop my meat on the top. Like so. And then I'm going to pop on my beautiful salsa. Oh my goodness. If you didn't cook along, I hope you're jealous. That's all I can say. Okay. No, I hope that you actually decide this is dinner for tomorrow night. We're going to pop on our sour cream. Oh my gosh, I need a picture of that. That is just absolutely picture perfect. Have a look. Absolutely amazing. Can't wait to get into dinner. Sprinkle a little bit of extra coriander over that if you like. Absolutely super fresh, super easy. One of the things that's probably got most of the ingredients in your pantry. I hope you love it. Hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye.